So hey everybody, this is Manyrounds out here again in the sticks, and you can watch me set up a little bit. I don't know if you can see my face, but hi everybody. It's a little warm today, but not too bad. Where I am. The cicadas, this is Cicadaville. So you might hear those in the background a little bit. But I thought I'd just come out here and give my spiel on what's going on a little bit. And how close we are to a lot of not good stuff. I'm sure you're aware, but I'll give my take on it a little bit. A friend of mine asked me to, so I thought I'd give you all a little bit of maybe a clear picture of the whole thing, so that you guys can make decisions appropriate to what your needs are. And anyway, so I thought I'd talk about this area here today a little bit. This happens to be the Western Pacific, and things are popping. Let's see the date. Today is 24th, Friday afternoon, about 5:30 Central Time, and pretty central where I'm at. Maybe a little east of Central, but it's pretty close enough. Hope you can see all that pretty good. Let me see how it looks over there. You can't really see it too good, huh? Not from that angle anyway. Well, I'll tell you what, let's move this a little bit. Maybe I can get it a little bit. Anyway, let's see. We'll try to zero in on that a little bit. Oh, it looks a lot better. Oh, okay, wow. Maybe I got my f-stops wrong or something here. That just looks like heck. It's the way the sun is right now. The angle of the dangle and all that. Kind of sideways to it. Shoot. Well, I'm going to think about this a minute. Can't really move the board because it's kind of screwed to the tree a little bit there. You see those hooks up there? It's hooked right to the tree. And it's screwed, so it doesn't bounce around in the wind. And we get some pretty serious wind around here. So, well, gosh, there's a nice map too. I wish you could see it better. Let me think here. Let me zip down a little bit. Well, I think you can see the Philippines there, okay? Maybe I'll zoom in later for you somehow. But anyway, for now, I'll just chat. So I'm just setting up. I was out mowing a little bit, get some work done, and I thought I'd bang this out and give you guys a little heads up. Forgive my studio set up here a little bit, but might as well chat to you while I'm doing it. Yeah, things are popping over there. From what I understand, I was reading on Hal Turner's site yesterday and this morning, but it's looking like look at my stick. Oh. It's looking like, okay, that the Chinese are rehearsing right now, and they may even go for it. I hope they don't, but they've got a lot of hardware out there and spend a lot of resources and getting everybody up to speed on what they need to do and the mission they have, which is basically take Taiwan And they know also they're going to have resistance from the United States, from bases here and up here in Japan, which you can't see on the map, and out in Hawaii, which you can't see on the map, but it's out there. So China's not a whole lot, you know, they don't have very far to go. We, on the other hand, have, you know, a long way to go to re-equip or send reinforcements, and we're going to need them if we're going to try to help these people out. And you know, the situation now is just so insane. And I mean, I remember years ago thinking, you know, 30 years ago, knowing this was coming, but how it was going to unfold, I had no idea. Except one day that, you know, China was just going to go for it. But I had no idea that the United States was going to be in such a dire strait. So, as far as its military goes, and so thin to win, and it's just, it's sad. It saddens me, because back in the day when I first got wind of all these things, we were pretty strong, a lot stronger than we are now, and this was like late 70s, early 80s, you know, up until 89, 90, up until 91 maybe even, but the situation in our country has changed so radically because it's fallen away. I mean, it's just gone it's gone, you know, the opposite direction from God. And when nations do that, all the curses of Deuteronomy that Moses spoke of start to come into play, and that's what's happening. So now you've got, you know, the Chinese are basically, they started out small, you know, they started out with a few planes, they would fly over Taiwan, get everybody in an uproar, you know, and then they added a few more planes the next time, and a few more, and then a few ships, and they were doing exercises out there, but nothing, you know, to really be alarmed about. But now, they've got the whole island surrounded in an exercise, they claim, but it's really a dress rehearsal for what they're going to do. They're getting all the kinks ironed out so that everybody is on the same sheet of music when they do the main assault later, you know, or next week. But that's how they do. I mean, that's just how you prepare for a battle. Is you do as much recon as you can to get as much information as you can about the enemy and his positions and locations, and you know where all their communication setups are, and you start nibbling at all of that to kind of weaken and confuse the enemy a little bit, but you keep gathering more information, and then you go into the rehearsal phase where you get everything together you need, and then you go out and you execute a rehearsal so that everybody is in tune with everybody else, and there's no, it works out the unforeseen anomalies in warfare that come up, and then you find the problems, you know, you figure out what went right and what went wrong, and then you do it again. You know, once you figure out what went wrong, you fix all that and you do it again, and you keep doing it and you keep doing it until you get it down to where you're confident that you're going to be able to execute this mission. So that's what they're doing, and that's what the Russians are doing. And you know, the Russians have been cycling their troops through this whole issue over there in the Ukraine. They haven't been using the same troops all the time, and you know they've been very, very shrewd and smart about it, and they've rotated, I don't know, a large percentage of their force to get them all some combat experience and to iron out all the kinks, and they're, I mean, it's for them in a way it's a rehearsal for a larger op they're going to do again later with China against us here. And when they do it here, see, then they've got a longer supply chain to deal with, and they've got other, you know, a lot of things that are going to be obstacles for them to deal with, to overcome, and be able to successfully execute their plan. So that's really the big picture of all of this. And they are looking at us like a resource. That's all we really are to them now, because we're a liability instead of an asset. We have shifted over to the point of being a liability, a pain in their neck, and just a consumer of resources that they could be using. So that's how they're looking at it. Whether, you know, the American people want to fess up and realize that's what's going on or not, it's, you know, it doesn't matter, because that's how they look at it. Okay, so and they're gonna when they get here, they're gonna glom up everything that they've cataloged. I mean, everything in this country is cataloged. Everything down, you know, the last automobile, the last horse, the last piece of beef, you know, arable land, water sources, power sources, fuel, you know, oil, gas, and combustibles like lumber, wood, you know, forestry and stuff like that. Because they're you know, these guys are very thorough, and they've been very patient, and they've been waiting, you know, for this moment to come about. So, you know, if there's a prophecy about how, you know, when the United States gets involved in the Israel situation over there, and they partake in, I guess, influencing Israel to give up some of their land for the Palestinians or whoever. It could be anybody, really. It doesn't have to be the Palestinians, but it's probably going to be them. But in any division of their land or handing over of any of their land, you have a serious issue with God there, because it's the apple of God's eye, Israel. And there's a lot of, you know, hoopla out there right now that's pretty anti-Semitic, because they're painting